The purpose of this video is to go over how to add fractions with unlike denominators, and we're going to use the butterfly method. Before we get started, I just want to very quickly say that the fractions can have three parts. I just wrote the fraction 1 2/3. So a fraction can have a whole number. The top number of the fraction is called the numerator. The bottom number of the fraction is called the denominator. I'm just telling you that so that you'll know the parts of a fraction. As you work with fractions, the teachers will more than likely tell you use those names. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work through the 16 steps that I came up with to help you solve addition of fractions with unlike denominators using the butterfly method. The first step says copy the problem. Copy the problem to your work area. My work area is going to be this space right over here to the side. So I copied the problem. Okay? It says don't forget the equal sign, but I'm going to write my steps below. So I will not put an equal sign right here. Well, I'll put it anyway. So this says circle the bottom left number with the top right number. So the bottom left number and the top right number. And it says circle them. Now it says circle the top left number with the bottom right number. Top left, bottom right. Now it says multiply the top left and the bottom right number. So we're going to do 2 times 4. What I will do, because it looks like I didn't give myself room, I'm going to rewrite those things. So circle the bottom left, top right, top left, bottom right. So now again we're on this step right here that says multiply the bottom left and the top right numbers. So here's the bottom left number times the top right number, and 2 times 2 is 4. And it says place the answer above the top right number. Here's the top right number, and again 2 times 2 is 4. Then it says box the number that you just wrote. I just wrote the number 4. I put it in a box. Now I'm down here on step number 7. Multiply the bottom right and the top left. Multiply the bottom right and the top left. 3 times 1 is what I'm going to multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. It says place the answer above the top left number. This is the top left number. 3 times 1 is 3. Box the number that you just wrote. I just wrote the 3. I put a box around the 3. Add the numbers that you placed in the boxes. I put a 3 in a box. I put a 4 in the box. 3 plus 4 equals 7. So I'll write that here. This is the top number of your answer. So that 3 plus 4 is the top number of my answer. So I write it on the other side of the equal sign. I didn't write it on the other side, I wrote it down here below. Draw a fraction bar just below the number that you just wrote. There's my fraction bar. Now multiply the bottom two numbers. These are the bottom two numbers, 2 and 3. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. And I write the answer below the fraction bar. Now, that is how you solve it. Now here's the thing, here's where we are. The answer may not be in simplest form. The answer may not be in simplest form. To do that, you will need to follow the steps for making equivalent fractions. This is actually an improper fraction. We're not solving today. We're not trying to figure out how to make an improper fraction a mixed number. I simply wanted to go over the steps for how to solve fractions with unlike denominators using the butterfly method. I'm going to do one more problem, and I want you to follow along. And we're going to see if we can solve another problem. So our problem is going to be 1/2 plus 2/7. We're going to copy this problem in our work area, which is number 1. 1/2 plus 2/7. We're going to circle the bottom left number with the top right number. The bottom left, top right. We're going to circle the top left number with the bottom right number. Top left, bottom right. We're going to multiply the bottom left and the top right numbers. Bottom left, top right. 2 times 2 is 4. We're going to place that answer above the top right number. 2 times 2 is 4. Box the number that you just wrote. I just wrote the 4. Put it in a box. Multiply the bottom right and the top left numbers. The bottom right, top left. 7 times 1 is 7. Place the answer above the top left number. And put it in a box. Now it says add the numbers that you just placed in a box. I just placed the 7 in a box. I just placed the 4 in a box. So I'm going to do 7 plus 4. 7 plus 4 is 11. Now, the next steps say draw a fraction bar below the number you just wrote, and I did that right here. The next step says to multiply the two bottom numbers. My two bottom numbers are 2 and 7. 2, 2 times 7 equals 14. Write the answer below the fraction bar. Again, 2 times 7 is 14. You write it below the fraction bar. Next step says write the answer below the fraction bar. We did that. Add the whole numbers if there are any. We didn't have any whole numbers in this problem. Then write the answer to the left of the fraction bar if this goes 15 and 16 go together if you have whole numbers. We didn't have whole numbers. And then this note down here on the bottom. The answer may not be in simplest form. To do that, you will need to follow the steps for making equivalent fractions. Again, that is not what I was trying to do in this video. This video was all about adding fractions with unlike denominators using the butterfly method. First, you circle the bottom left, the top right. Then you circle the bottom right, top left. Then you multiply the bottom left, the top right. 2 times 2 is 4. And you box that answer. Then you multiply 7 times 1. 7 times 1 is 7. You put that in a box. Then you add the two numbers that you put in a box. 7 plus 4. And you write that over here. 7 plus 4 equals 11. Draw your fraction bar. Multiply the bottom two numbers. 2 times 7. 2 times 7 equals 14. You write that here. If you had whole numbers, you would add those and put that here, but you do not have whole numbers in this problem. I tried to break this down into as few steps as I could. I got it down to 16. Hopefully this will make adding fractions with unlike denominators using the butterfly method, hopefully this will make some sense for you.